we've got the basic piece of leather there. It's a bit rough, so what I might do is use my set square and sort of clean up some of these edges. That's probably the straightest of all the. If I do it the other side, I don't mark the actual showpiece. That one's fairly good, that's alright once it's cleaned up. This one needs a bit of a clean though. So let's get my top edge. Clean up along there, make it flat. So I'll probably just use the cutter for that. And I might actually change my angle for two reasons. One, because it's easier for me to cut, and two, it might be easier for you to see. A bit nicer. And the bottom one, we'll do it this way because we're going to use the good side. That one's pretty good. I'll just give it a little bit of a clean. Oh. I might actually bring the camera around the other side so you can actually see a bit better. Maybe a bit. Okay, so now I've got that little piece cleaned up a little bit. There's our basic bit of leather again. If we get our template over the top, I'm going to mark in where those bolt marks are going to go. So basically, one will be through here, and the other one through here. So I'll have one here, bolt goes in here, and that's near the end, and this one's going to be one up near the seat. So obviously, however I tie these together here, it's going to be fairly strong. There's going to be a bit of tugging on there, and that leads me to the thing. So in this portion here, I can actually put the rebel flag, like we were thinking about before, which leaves this bottom portion here. I can actually put his name, Redneck, or whatever we're going to put in there. If I do a decorative stitch around here, and I also want to actually lace the edges, I think that might look pretty good. So maybe a border around the outside, continue this along, and maybe put around the name some backgrounding, some different textures, and I think it's going to look good. Alright, so probably the first thing we're going to need to do is start working on maybe the flag once I put these two holes in. So I'm going to put these holes in, and then I'm going to work on the flag, which will probably be about there. So let's see if I've got a punch big enough for putting these bolt holes in. Alright, I'll put you on hold for a second and see what happens. Well, it looks like my biggest punch is this one here, which probably not big enough for the bolt, but it's a good start. At least I'll know where to not put the tooling. So Mark that in, it goes probably about there. And get it central. Yep, perfect. Give it a whack. And the other one is going to be here. Alright, so they've marked. I'll finish off making those holes a bit later because this is a bit blunt. So now we know where the holes are going to be. Let's have a look and see if I can find a small enough rebel flag to go onto this portion. Right. Okay, so I've been doing some sorting out. I do have a stamp, which is the star, which is going to help us out with our rebel flag. Obviously the rebel flag looks a little bit like it, not exactly like that one. So I've worked out there's 7 stars each way, 3, 3 and 1 in the center, and so working it out, I can get, if we did that width, my star actually works 7 times in. So I've marked those out onto the thing there, and I've just gone around and cut in the lines of the flag itself, and obviously the top and bottom of the flag. So next thing I probably need to do is actually put the stars in themselves. So I'll start off with one in the center, and then go 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, and then probably tool the rest of it. So let's try that. Let's go wet our bit of wet in there. Oh, running out of water. How about we stand it up to do it? There we go. And a little bit of marble underneath, because we're going to put the tools. So I was looking, I'm not certain if the stars need to be upwards with the points at the top, or if the flag is supposed to be like that with the points at the bottom. I'm expecting it possibly stars up, so that's the way I'm going to do it. I'm hoping I'm correct. If anyone knows the actual way it should be, please let us know. But it goes nothing. Let's start with this first star in the smack bang middle. A bit of a bang. Okay, dead set, smack in the middle. Now, according to this, we can get 7 either side. So if I put that next to it, the next one should be almost directly next to it. So 1, 2, and then 3. Well, there we go. Here goes nothing. Light's pretty bad there. I keep making a shadow, but could do with the light behind me. Okay, is it in the middle? No, there we go. 1, 2, and the third one on the edge. Obviously this third one's going to get in with the sewing, but beggars can't be choosers. I'll put up a little bit more, get it in the middle. Alright, okay, so we've got the stars in, and I've now that the leather's wet, I've cut the other lines in. There's just 2 more to go. You can see there, just to make them nice and deep so we can actually tool them. Alright, so look a bit more like our flag. Alright, so what I'm going to do is probably use some of the tools here to drop some of these back, bring that X forward, and obviously drop down the front and back. So let's go ahead and do some of that. So probably need router. The beauty of using the thick leather is you can really get it to compact, and you get a definite nice line along the edges, so you get a really good 3D effect. Finer leathers is not as much leather to compact, and you don't get the difference in levels as much. You can really see there, that's dropped it down a fair bit. Get the right angle, so it comes in, it drops down, so it really brings that flag side out. So let's do the other side. Actually, I might do it the same way I did it the first time, because that seemed to be easier for the camera to see. If I get that angle, that's a bit better, isn't it? All I gotta do is get it to stay there now. There we go. Bring it in a little bit closer. And the shadow's a problem, but if I do it this way and go backwards, no, that's going to help, is it? Okay, so I want to continue going around these edges, dropping down all these pieces here. So obviously take me a little while to do that, so I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so I've gone around and beveled either side of the flag, or in these areas here. Obviously this is going to be stitched to the other side, so I'm going to put a stitching line in using the groove cutter, and so I've set that just a little bit in. It's going to hit into our flag, but it needs to be stitched in, so we can't do much about that. Same on the other side. And just so we know where our stitches are going to go, the good old marking guide. So pick a point and then run it up. So that end, and try and pick the same point on this side. It's about equidistant. Oop. It's about there. And do the same thing this side. So we can see where the stitches are going to be. Now, what I'm wanting to do is I've got to line those up with what's going to happen at the other ends. So, see if I can place that in there without disturbing the camera. Get all the gunk out of the way. Obviously there needs to be the same stitches either side. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put a mark in here and along the edges here and up here, and then I'm going to go ahead and use my wheel and line them up so that they're next to each other. I just realised I should have put one along this edge too, because that edge is also going to be sewn. So on the corner, so 3 sides. Now we're going to put the grooves in these ones as well, and to do that I'm going to have to move the camera. Won't be a moment. That's better. So we'll stick our grooves in first. And last one. Oops, get that bit of crap out of there. So now we want to put this back in right way around and make sure so the first hole there and there, and this one there, 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 there. Okay, so now we've got them, we can actually mark them in and make sure they're next to each other. Turn it around the other way, do my wheel. And that'll put them at this next to the ones on the other piece of leather. And last but not least, okay, just a matter now of getting a punch, punching all those holes in. So you've seen me do that a million times, so I might do that off camera again. That'll be back in a few bits. So my punches are here. The small one is already picked, so just so you know what we're going to be doing, just put my holes in. Okay, so there we have all of our holes in, and so you can probably see better now how they're going to stitch together. I might just come up a bit higher than that. And you can see there that all line up. Might help with the right way around. Hey, that's better. Alright. Alright, so they'll all stitch in here like this. This will all be coloured. I'm thinking the background here will just be black because he's getting a black bike. So what I need to do now is think about what's happening down this end. We've got a bolt going through here, and so I'm thinking maybe Redneck, which is his nickname, or well, I'm thinking Redneck. I might ask him what he'd rather have on there. He's American, obviously, as for the thing. And then I'm thinking maybe down here, if I put another few borders and things around, the name, and then just sort of pattern here, using one of my backgrounders, just to give it a little bit more interest. We can continue on that line, put the name in, and then continue the other side of the name, maybe a border around, and this whole piece here have some sort of decoration and things in it. That's where I'm looking at the moment. So I'm going to go away and think about that for a bit and see what I come up with. Okay, I've just sent a message to Greg, or Redneck, just to see what he does want on the way, if he wants Redneck or not, or if that's too derogatory, or just to make sure I'm getting the right name on there. What I thought I might do while I'm waiting is obviously clean up some of these edges, because to see if they're just a sharp edge so far. So with the edging tool, I'm just going to take them off, and hopefully by the time I'm finished I'll get a message about what name to put on. So cleaning these up. Pity some of these cuts have come all the way out to the edge, but I could have made it a bit bigger, the flag a bit smaller, but because I used the stamp, I wanted to get it wide enough to accommodate the stars on the stamp. On that side, this side. Oops, let's go the other way. Oh, I've got to go this way. Ooh. I'll just do the inside of these, because as I said, I want to put a border around the outside later for those. So using the edge to get the border straight. Alright, and then a bit of a slick. Good old saliva again. Might move the camera a little bit just so you can see what I'm doing. I'm using a wonky tripod today, so put my hands in front, you can see what I'm doing then. There we go, that's much better. You can hear Charlie underneath having a scratch. Wait. She had a bath today, and the first thing she did, because the bath was mainly to get rid of the fleas so she wouldn't scratch, because summertime we have a lot of sand here. First thing she did was went out, laid in the sand, pick up more fleas. So at least she's clean. Alright. One more side. Okay. And I'll go ahead and I'll do this one as well. I'll be back in a while, hopefully with what I'm going to put in here. Redneck, I suspect. Okay.